So I rallied a small group of soldiers in charge of front gates where the invaders were entering the town. As we were charging, I got shot in the right arm.
Sorry to have to interrupt you, Robert, but Janna, when we return to town, we need to renegotiate with Pryce. After seeing that damage, being hidden won't save us forever. When they do eventually arrive, we won't stand a chance.
If you don't mind me speaking for a moment, I do want to mention that Edenia didn't really have an army when we were attacked, and that's why we failed. Due to the lack of training in our men. Like you, Edenia disbanded their military, and only kept the higher ranking officials all still in service. But we were just more of a police force than anything else. Other than that, we only kept our supplies in reserve for if something like that happened, we could stand a chance.
What are you trying to get at, Robert?
If you decide to remilitarize, I can train your men, so if we get attacked, it won't be a repeat of what happened to Edenia.
We appreciate the offer, but we can't ask you to fight for us.
I spent most of my life fighting. If I were to stop now, it would be all for nothing.
Thanks for the offer. If we decide to go through with the remilitarization, I'll talk to you more about this.
When we return, I'll go with you to talk to Pryce. Like you said, after seeing the damage, we better start preparing.
Alright. We're near the valley. Let's continue on. Hey, Pryce. We need to talk. The only survivor was an Edenian general named Robert. He's in the valley at this moment.
Were you guys able to find who did the attack? And what happened to the squad that I sent?
Your men did make it to the town, but they were wiped out. The attackers were the Vamuk Empire.
Are you sure?
Very. I have one of their banners.
This changes a lot. I must return to the capital immediately.
Oh, before you leave, I want you to take the medical supplies back and send us armor and weapons. I don't know who this Vamuk Empire is, but I saw what damage and chaos they can cause, so I'm going to remilitarize the valley.
Zavior, trust me. Staying small and hidden is going to be what saves this town at the end of the day. You don't want to do this.
Well, we both saw how well that worked out for Edenia. If or when they come, I want to be ready.
Zavior, I do not have time for this. Keep the medical supplies. Going back to the capital and I'll have a shipment of armor and weapons sent on its way. But all I'm going to say is be careful.
We don't plan on attacking anyone. But if an army wants to come to our home and take it, we will fight.
I understand. I have to go though. Just stay safe.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Zavior. Do you need something?
Actually, I do. I was able to get Pryce to give us armor and weapons. So, I was wondering if you were still interested in helping with the remilitarization?
Of course I am. But where are we even going to set up everything? When I was walking through the town the other day, I didn't see any resemblance to a military base.
That's because this base was made during a period when the town didn't have a lot of funds. Follow me, and I'll show you the base. Well, here she is.
I'm sorry, but Zavior, what in the hell is this? This is nothing but a damn shack.
Just take a peek inside before you assume anything.
Huh? Alright, you were right. This is a lot better than I was expecting. I can for sure make this work.
That's what I thought. I'm just surprised how much of a mess this place is. I guess we have a good amount of work on our hands. I'll get Janna. If you want to start cleaning these cobwebs, then I'll have Janna unload the supplies.
That's fine. You get Janna, and while I knock down these cobwebs, I'm going to look around and see what else is here.
Hey Zavior, what's going on?
Pryce sent the supplies we asked for. I have Robert cleaning the inside of the military base, and I'm coming to get you to help unload the cargo.
Alright, give me a second and I'll be right over.
I want to get this unloaded quickly. The delivery man has been waiting for a bit, and I want him to be able to get going soon.
Fair enough. Start handing them down. Wow, those crates are heavier than I expected. I must be more out of shape than I expected.
I see you guys have finished unloading the supplies.
Yeah, we have. You need something?
No. I just wanted to show you something I found in the base.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's a bookshelf.
Yeah, but look at this. See? Look at this massive training room. Now I just need men to train.
Wait. I wasn't aware of this being here. Janet, did you know this was here?
I did. This was his training chambers. He trained by himself often. It helped clear his head a little, to remember who his true enemies were. At least that's what he told me.
Oh, I didn't know. I just don't want to know anymore. I'm gonna go start bringing the supplies.
Who's his? And what's Zavier's deal?
Zavior had an older brother. This was his room. I refer to Zach as him because it's still a sensitive topic for most. Especially for Zavior. And me. It's been years, but we can't move on.
If you don't mind me asking, how did Zach die? I've heard stories, but I don't know how accurate they are.
I fought beside Zach during the siege of Shizak in the Battle of the Wretched Knight.
Wretched Knight? That was the final battle of the old war, right?
Correct, and the bloodiest of the entire war.
I'm aware. I was supposed to flank the Vumuk Empire with my platoon of soldiers. but we got ambushed and lost at least half of the platoon. By the time we made it to the coordinates, there was no one left. So we returned to Edenia.
Zack, myself, and the other allies attacked the Vumuk. It was a massacre on both sides. Towards the end of the battle, the king of Vumuk, Ethan, came out of nowhere and clashed swords with Zack. I went to assist Zack, but a Vumuk soldier blindsided me and knocked me down. It was the one time I was separated from Zack. I had killed the soldier, but I only had enough time to watch Ethan make the final strike on Zack.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. After he was stricken down, I had to retreat, and I gathered all of the surviving Phoenix Valley fighters to get them home. You know what really bothered me when Zack got killed?
That you watched your leader perish?
He wasn't just a leader, he was my friend. But that isn't what I'm talking about. Before Ethan served the final blow to Zack, Zack didn't have a trace of fear in his eyes. He just stared at Ethan with a smile on his face.
Oh? That's strange.
Yeah. Never tell Zavior I know the identity of his brother's killer.
Oh, okay, but why?
Because I've caught him being revenge-driven before, and he had made some really bad decisions. I can't have him doing that again, especially now that he is the ruler of Phoenix Valley.
That's a fair reason, I guess. Is there a reason he took rulership over the valley instead of you?
This valley has been under his family's rule since the town's creation.
So it's a blood thing.
Yes. But his brother would have wanted it this way too.
Are you two just going to let me do all the hard work, or are y'all gonna help?
Now we have the supplies in place to recruit and train an army. We now just need an army.
Actually, when I went out to get the first crate, I had told a couple citizens to let everyone know that I was going to be giving an announcement.
Oh my lord. Please tell me you know what you are going to say before you go in front of the townspeople.
Yes, I have a plan. Why do you always think I'm incompetent?
Janna, is this a common problem with Zavior? He says he's going to do something but has no plan whatsoever.
Zavior, even you have to admit, you used to do things horribly without a plan. And it all stemmed from him not thinking before he spoke.
Fine, you are right, but that was a big problem for me. But even have to admit, I am doing better.
That is true. You have done a lot better with that.
Okay, let's get back on topic for just a moment. Zavior, you said you have a plan. What is it?
Well, my plan is to speak about what we saw on the mission. How when we showed up to Edenia, we saw the carnage that were made in what stood once great and powerful town.
That's an actual good idea, but what says they will believe what you say?
Good question. I'll show them proof.
What are you going to do? Have them walk to Edenia? Last time I checked, Edenia is days away.
No. I want you to wear your suit of armor and stand by me and speak about your experience.
Is there anything specific you want me to say?
No, nothing specific. And Janna, I want you there to talk about who attacked them and how much of a threat they are.
Zavior. Good job. You are showing signs of improvement, and you clearly have a solid plan because of it.
I may not have been a ruler for long, but I'm catching on to things and learning fairly quickly, in my opinion.
Say what you want. You are doing better, but that is all I'm going to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I come forth to bring news. Recently, Janna and I were out of the valley for a few days. One of our allies had requested we look into the possible attack on another fellow town, formerly known as Edenia. When we arrived, where once a strong town stood, only remained a wasteland. Janna and I went through the town looking for survivors. During the search, we only found one. That being General Robert of the Edenian army, who now stands next to me. Robert, would you like to say something on the matter?
Yes, I would. Hello, citizens of Phoenix Valley. I am General Robert of the Edenian army. I stand before you sadly not to relay great news, but to warn you of a tragedy of the place I used to call home. One peaceful day, about over a week ago, Edenia stood flourishing in the time of peace that was created by the old war. But with comes light is darkness, in which a man in a black cloth that rode into the town on horseback and handed Edenia's great ruler a letter. In that letter, they did not state they wanted to become an ally, nor did they want to negotiate. They only stated that they are men who honor battle and are going to conquer and destroy our home within 24 hours. At that time, Edenia had been demilitarized for over 3 years, so we rallied a group of men and pulled our weapons and armor out of reserve to protect our home. With that, we also sent a letter to our ally we have in common with Phoenix Valley, who we asked for extra support. Luckily, the reinforcements arrived before that battle begun, but within that hour, they had just begun the invasion. Within minutes, the wall that protected the town for so many years had been penetrated. As much it pains me to say this, our men stood no chance against the invaders. The invaders not only had training, but numbers on their side. We were all slaughtered, one by one. I was the only survivor due to the fact that I got shot and fallen unconscious. When I had woke, I hadn't bled to death due to the fact the arrow had sealed the wound it created. But over the days of that arrow being in me, I wasn't able to rest or do anything for that matter. I was growing tired and near death. Then the only spark of hope I had seen is the day arrived when Janna and Zavior busted into the building I was hiding in. After I had fallen, they helped me, patched me up, and brought me here, and gave me a new place to call home. And I owe my life to Zavior and this town.
It doesn't end there. When Zavior and I arrived, I noticed along the trees, the entry points, all around the town, there were banners. Upon seeing this banner, I must conclude that it was the Vumuk Empire who had attacked and destroyed Edenia.
Who's the Vamuk?
Wait, I thought the Vamuk Empire had fallen.
Quiet! Everyone, Janna hasn't finished speaking.
Thank you, Zavior. Among all of you, I had heard several rumors and sometimes confusion on what was to come of the relation between the Allies and the Vamuk Empire after the Old War. Some of you say that the Vamuk Empire swore an oath of peace. This is true. There was a signed treaty for peace between the Allies and the Vamuk Empire. But I also heard someone state the Vamuk Empire had fallen. That is completely false. Freedom fighters have been spreading this rumor in hopes for a peaceful tomorrow. But we must not fall into a false sense of security. The Vamuk Empire is a nation built on war and they say honor. But this banner says they plan to create chaos again for those who wanted nothing but peace and tranquility. We must work together and be vigilant in these times.
Thank you, Robert and Janna. With that, we draw near the ending of this meeting. I wanted to announce that after seeing the carnage the Vamuk Empire left, where Edenia once stood. I have gotten supplies and am now remilitarizing this town. Edenia had fallen due to its lack of training, so we won't let that happen again. We ask all who can to sign up to join. And while we are all here, Janna, I would like to announce that after everything you did for the Valley during the Old War, you have officially been promoted to Captain of the Phoenix Valley Military. And as for you, Robert, after seeing what you did for Edenia, I would also like to announce that you have been promoted to General of the Phoenix Valley Military.
Fine, I will do it. Thank you, Zavior, for granting me this position. I will not disappoint you.
I also thank you for this opportunity, and also will not disappoint you, or the citizens I swear to protect. Thank you, Lord Zavior.
And with that, this meeting is over, and everyone is welcome to leave. Just remember that, if you can, sign up for the Phoenix Valley Army, so we can all protect our homes and prevent another devastating loss.